My name is Mario Fernandes. I'm an Origina GIA for IBM InfoSphere products. Okay, I'm working with Origina for almost 1.5 years. And my job basically is supporting customers that have the set of tools or any of the tools within InfoSphere that came a swap from IBM into Origina support model, right? It's an interactive process. It's very interesting because you end up meeting people from different parts of the world. And I really enjoy work with those products. And due to my experience with those products, I work for a long time. There's always something that I can teach to our customers and help our customers and learn from them as well. Basically, the architecture. A lot of customers, under my point of view, the architecture is not properly designed initially when someone performed the installation to them. So part of our job is analyzing those that architecture implemented on the beginning. Is called the onboarding process in Origina, right? And then sometimes suggest the customer or tell them probably this would take more advantage of this product if we implement it in a different way. Our work is not only support, but also somehow help the customer to achieve a better goal with the set of tools that they are entitled to. So we normally have meetings with what we call a customer success manager, which is normally lovely ladies that have this hard work of setting up calls with the customer and so on, and fitting with the GIAs and the customer. And then it's pretty much talking about what you have on board, how many users you have, which tools you have, how they operate. This is a batch, it's not a batch, what kind of process you have currently in place for your customers. And then we extract that information to create our own internal reports and have kind of a record about the installation of the customer. And after that, if the customer has issues, we are here to help them solve those issues. But otherwise, we perform this meet the expert sessions, which involve sometimes teaching the customer new techniques about the product, or whatever the customer considers that we could help them. Obviously, this is related to what we have in our statement of work in terms of support. We have helped the pre-sales guys working a new customer in Europe. It's a large customer, it's a telco company, and unfortunately the market they operate, it's use a lot of time zones. Okay. And part of my work was on the initial contacts with the customer. Is like the customer could not have a centralized transaction system with different time zones. So we explained some of the techniques. This was to a product called CDC, the change data capture from InfoSphere as well, was to achieve that on a database level and also with the product itself. So any transaction then comes from different time zones of their own time zone, and then also in the same table we have the current transaction time zone, which is the one that he was looking for. So this means that the customer, any transaction done in different time zones will be recorded with both time zones, the central one and where exactly the transaction came from. And the customer was working with the tool for around 15 years, and they didn't have any idea how this could be achieved. So. Well, first I'd like to ask how many projects you have, how many jobs you have inside those projects, how many people operate with the tool, and then I'll start to address the customer and doing these technical questions, which operating system and how many incidences we have in the past, these kind of things. And then normally the customers are willing to share with us, the incidences that they have with IBM. And we take kind of an overview and which kind of points we should look at deeply in order to understand their infrastructure. But pretty much it's an interactive process between the GIA from Origin and the customer. Yeah. Stephen knew me from LinkedIn, I believe so. And we have a common friend that used to work for IBM support. And I think it was through Sunil that he came back again to me. He told me, look, we are the third-party IBM software provider in the world. And, because obviously I've done several installations on behalf of IBM and all sorts of things. And he told me that if I was interested, and then we spoke, deeply about how we support the customers. And I think the idea was very interesting. And I said, okay, I'm gonna test that. So we signed up contracts and all the legal stuff. And I'm now a GA for 1.5 year almost. And I have no customers, as I said, in America, South America, and Europe. And I'm quite happy with the work that I do.